get that out of the way. As you do on with STWF TV, we back on another episode of Let's Ride, and we in the building. Listen, we got a great show this day, but before I get this thing started, gotta let the co-host in the building. You hear me? What out?
What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? Bandito here, checking in, guys.
Man, that was offbeat as hell, man. What you doing? You're like, hey, this Bandito, man. But man, how's it going today?
Oh man, it's going good, man. How about yourself? How was your day today, man?
Hey man, it's cold, it's raining. So you know what? That's in Texas, that's drinking weather right there, man. So I haven't got no drinks yet. But listen, we got a good show. We did got Houston's Roughnecks own super fan Rig Rock in the building. What's that?
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, Rig?
What's going on? H is up.
I'm tired of this. Last week we had to deal with this.
Yeah.
Now we dealing with this. Oh man, what the hell? But yes, everybody, we got Rig Rock of Houston Roughnecks own in the building. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we already got
first guest on our show, man. First guest ever.
Facts.
Well, I feel honored.
Well, I don't know, because we've only had like one air, so it's like we got a lot of episodes, so I don't speak much on it. But I definitely appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to you, Tim. Big B, that's crazy Tim from Bandito, man. Appreciate you tapping in. But before we get the show started, tell us a little bit about, yourself. We see this, like the UFL man cave back there. I am in envy back here.
I got a lot of it last season. Me and the Predator couple, we traveled all 10 games for us. Then we did 3 games. We actually came to Arlington for the season opener last year against Birmingham. And then we traveled to a couple San Antonio games. All in all, we did 12,015 miles for the entire season.
Wait, you said 1,200?
12,015 miles.
Listen, Uncle's on the school smart. I can't even count that high. So y'all travel 12, how long?
12,015 miles.
That's
12015.
Bingo, I got it now. But man, tell us about that dedication. Like what made y'all, want to do that? What was some of the coordination?
With the 2023 season, after that ended, and then there was the whole talks of the merger, and then they decided on the merger, and they had couldn't decide whether they were going to keep the Gamblers or they were going to keep the Roughnecks. And we begged and begged and begged to keep the Roughneck name. We started a petition. We got over 1,000 signatures on that petition. Literally, we went to U of H football games and had a QR code for the petition. I actually had it pinned to my back of my shirt. Dressed up as Rig Rocker, we went to a Houston Cougars game, getting people to sign it for us. Tell them about the UFL and they were possibly getting rid of the Houston Roughnecks, and we got over 1,000 signatures on it. They decided to keep it. So after they made the announcement they were going to keep the Roughneck name, the Predator couple would come over to my wife's house to watch a Texans playoff game. And while we were watching the game, we were talking a little bit about it. And after the game, we was just sitting around, and we had promised 110% support, regardless. As long as they kept the Roughneck name, we was giving them everything we had. And we was sitting here talking about it, trying to figure out what games we was going to go to. And my wife spoke up. She goes, "You guys made a promise." She said, "You need to make sure you show, at least one of you shows your face at every single game." So we're like, all right, let's do it. So we started out, we decided, you know what, we're going to show love to the league, show love to Arlington, another Texas team. So we took off on opening day and went to your all's game, turned around, had people tell us, well, you all know you don't play till tomorrow, right? You're in Arlington. You're not in Houston. Right. We know. We're here to show love. We're here to show love to the league, show love to another Texas team. And so we did. And then we left Arlington and drove straight back to Houston so we could be at our game on Sunday. And then after that, it was DC, then straight to Detroit. And we flew home from Detroit and just back and forth between everybody. The only game I didn't go to the St. Louis and San Antonio playoff game or the championship game.
No one cares about them anyways. No one cares about y'all San Antonio team, especially the St. Louis, Chicken Hawks?
Yeah, there you go. But no, the only reason I didn't go to the championship game was because my youngest grandson, it was his first birthday. So that was more important to me to go to that. And after everything he went through when he was born, only weighing 2 pounds, I got to celebrate this man's first birthday. So I took off and went to South Carolina for that. But 10 of our games and 3 extra games, we did 12,000 miles. So,
that's dedication. And that's what we try to highlight on our show, Let's Ride. True love for the game, for the sports, because, without the fans, that's what we do it for the love. But definitely got to get this started. We got a lot of fans. So shout out to XFL Mike Gard. He says, hey, Rick Rocker. What's that? Appreciate you.
What's going on, Mike?
How you doing, Mike?
So question, where did that come from? Like the name Rig Rocker, let us, give us a little back history on it.
So in 2023, season started, very first game come around. I'm sitting here at the house. At the time, my brother was living with us, and I was sitting downstairs talking to my wife, and they talked about it on the news. And I was like, man, I want to go check out one of their games. She's like, then you and your brother go today. She said, take off and go. So I come upstairs, holler at him. I said, hey, man, get ready. We're going to the game. I got tickets. Nice. So we took off, went to the game. And, we just went ourselves. I bought a hoodie. It was a little chilly out. Bought the ball cap. And we went to the game. We come home. We're sitting outside, leaning up against my truck, having a cigarette. And we're like, man, that was pretty cool. They won, and it was fun. I said, we need to do this again. So next week rolled around. My wife's like, you going again? I'm like, you don't care? No, I don't care. So all right, bet we're out of here.
Right.
So we went to the next game, but before we went, I went and bought my mask. So I went and bought a mask because I couldn't find the face paint. So I went and got a mask and got spray paint, painted up the mask. We get there and we bought our T-shirts, and so we had T-shirts and the masks
and the towels. I remember the towels.
Yeah, the rally towels. Then we come home from that one. We're like, man, that was so much fun. And so by the next week, we had the wigs, the shorts, the knee-high socks, and we was all in at that point. And we actually didn't come up with the name. It's actually Rig Rockers because he was with me. We didn't come up with that name until we went to the championship game in San Antonio to cheer on Arlington. And
we knew y'all weren't there to play. Sorry.
Someone asked me, they're like, what are you guys calling yourselves? So we set up here, the day before we left to go to San Antonio, and we're like, man, we got to come up with a name. We're going through all these names, what name we're going to use. And finally, we're like, I just looked at him, I said, Houston Roughnecks, Rigs. We wear these wigs that look like punk rockers, so why not Rig Rockers? It just rolled off the tongue, and he's like, yeah, dude, let's go with that. So yeah, that was it, man. After that, that's what everybody knows me as, is Rig now. And I enjoy it. And the whole year, interacting with kids, the games and stuff, like I said, I'm a grandpa, so, having grandkids, interacting with them kids, it's just a blast.
But you know what though, Rick, I'm with you on that one, man. Just to see the smile on those kids' face.
Yeah,
it's like we're Batman in the football world for these kids, man. They like the game of football, man.
Yeah. And then last year,
when I seen you at the, I'm taking pictures of it. I was like Michael Myers or something. I was snap deep. I was like, oh.
Yeah, a lot of people say that about that mask. They're like, the thing about it is there's just no expression to it. It's just a face. I'm like, that's what I like about it. And what's funny is, like, when you took pictures of me at the practice, I swear to God, I was smiling. That mask, even with that mask on, I smile, and I'm like, I really am smiling.
Right. And I know that's some of the feedback that you get from the fans because, it was like, I seen your regular face and you're like, hey, let me put on my mask, get in character, and that's where I was like, I seen it like really good. That's why I was asking about it because it's a really good makeup. Like you can tell it was thought into it. And so definitely wanted our fans to understand, like, hey, how that came about, because I come from Bandito, we come from the XFL. So the Roughnecks, y'all always had a strong fan base, and that's why I was trying to poke at Bob during the press conference, like, hey, look, so definitely it's good to see, you all fan base picking up and, joining and, supporting the team. Shout out to you, Moo. Hey, what up? What up? That's the Grill King right there, man. So
that's the Grill Master right there, baby.
Yeah, he is.
So we come in this Sunday, you're gonna be getting what we got. Don't want to say too much just yet, but we got some good food.
I'll actually be there. I'm coming in tomorrow afternoon. I'll be there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in and raid Arlington a day early.
Yeah. That's the only Houston fan I know that will get here quick.
Yes, sir. Well, actually, the practice, it was funny because I seen Perez had posted it on Facebook. We had been waiting for our front office to tell us we could go to a practice. And I told my wife, I said, I'm just waiting on the okay to go, and I'm going to go to a practice. Well, that Friday, I seen Perez posted, come out to the open practice with the Roughnecks. I came inside, and I told my wife, I was like, so they're having an open practice tomorrow. Arlington and Houston's practicing together. She goes, oh, you're going to go? I said, yeah. She goes, did you get permission? I said, nope. She goes, so you're going to go anyway? I said, yep.
That's badass right there. I like that. That's
and I literally told her that. I ran outside, had a cigarette, come in, jumped in the shower, threw stuff in a bag, threw my rig rocker stuff in a bag, and was out the door. Marco called me. I was hour and a half, 2 hours into the trip. He's like, hey, Rig, he said, did you see the open practice tomorrow? I'm like, yep, sure did. He goes, yeah. He said, I figured you did. I said, bro, I'm on my way.
He was already in an hour and a half away from home already.
Nice.
I said, I'm on my way. I'll be there. And, the whole, rig rocker thing, I mean, it's weird to say because I tell people all the time, in a weird way, and it sounds weird when I say it, but after I explain it, you'll understand. In a way, I'm kind of jealous of Rig Rocker.
That's alter ego.
Yeah, because when I put on that mask and put on that wig and stuff and become Rig Rocker, man, Rig Rocker don't have no cares in the world other than football, having fun and football. I take that mask off, it's reality again. So, it's kind of one of those, in a weird way, I'm just kind of jealous of him because he don't care about nothing. He just wants to have fun.
Hey, that's the way it's supposed to be. Hey, did you see Moo's
menu? Oh, yeah, I see his comments. So, yeah. So, definitely, I just wanted to put out there. So, for our fans right now, our viewers, so, hey, this is the menu right there. So, listen, I know y'all going to be looking at the screen. So, hey, just blink your eye. But right now, we got breakfast tacos, breakfast sandwich, pancaked, biscuits and gravy. Gotta feed the squad like a dog.
Hey, gotta feed the squad.
That just made this fat man happy.
Nacho, man. Hey, it's a party.
But no, just this league. I'm passionate about it. I love the league. I want it to just grow and grow and grow. We're having attendance issues everywhere, and I know that. And I blame them for not getting it out there enough. Here in Houston, last Friday, we met at TDCU Stadium for the news to finally talk about us, and it was a 3-minute segment. That was all the coverage we had. It's never on the news. Very rarely do we see a commercial, and if we do, it's a negative commercial, like talking about how rough we had it last year, and it's like, people ain't going to want to come out to that. So.
And that's why we try to keep things, pretty, on a positive spin up here. Because at the end of the day, as long as they're talking about you, because hey,
right.
I got little hair until I get bald head. I talk about my little hair. So I'm thankful about the small end. And that's what our platform is for. Because we try to be that positive spin on top of that. Because at the end of the day, there's too much money out there for for it to fail. So a lot of people look at something, the glass half full, half empty. I look at it as, listen, I got something to sell and, make some money off it and get it back. So either way it goes, it's a win. I can sell you the water or I can hit you with the glass. Yep. Either way it go. You know what I'm saying?
One way or another, you're going to get one of them.
Right.
You'll see my truck on Sunday. Like I've got Rig Rocker across the windshield. In the back window of my truck, it says Houston Roughnecks. My plates are personalized and it says Roughnecks, ROUGHNX. Those are my personalized plates. And then I got one of them LED light panels in the back of my truck that I always run something about the UFL, getting your tickets.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. It's not about that. It's about what you're doing to promote those sales. Because if all thing we're doing is just talking, guess what? We're no better. Because at the end of the day, you know what? Our platform, we bring people to the games. We give away tickets. We create fans. So that's why we do what we do. We have the tailgates. That's because one thing what people don't understand, the NFL is the NFL. The UFL is about the fans. And if the fans not there, then guess what? So definitely that's why you're on our platform and we appreciate you.
And you know what? And also too, Rick, where we're talking about, sometimes, we get frustrated. We get frustrated with the league, man. But at the end of the day, are they going to care? Some of them do. But at the end of the day, you can't let that get to your skin, man. Because at the end of the day, if that rubs you the wrong way, then they'll be like, oh, you know what? We got this guy. This guy's always going to. And they'll look at you in a different way, like, oh, this guy's going to talk and just talk bad. You know what I mean? Because I've seen it. There's been a couple super fans that have already been knocked down because of how bad they talk about the league. So at the end of the day, as long as you know that you're pushing it, it doesn't matter if they see it or not.
Between my truck, I got it tattooed on my leg. I got the Roughneck logo tattooed on my leg.
And wait, she got it everywhere. So show us the room. Can we get a tour? There's a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we want to see what's going on.
So I'm a Texans fan too. So part of the room's Houston Texans.
We won't fault you for that. Don't worry.
So it goes around. And this is all Texan stuff here. And right here you start. This is the UFL wall here. So I got pictures from. This is from when we was in Birmingham last year. So I don't know if you can see it real well, but then this was in Detroit, me and the Predator couple. And then we had another one where we actually got their mascot to come over. And then this was in Memphis with the Boatsmen. So got some pictures, but you see I got a rally towel from every team up there. So I sure love them all. And then I got this. I love my shelf here. I got shelves with teams. So I got a lot of my Roughneck stuff here, obviously, because I got quite a bit of it. This is a little helmet, a little mini helmet that I made. Got some autographs on it. So I painted it up, took it last week to the game, got some autographs on it. And then you get down here, I got a St. Louis shelf. I don't have an Arlington one yet because y'all ain't giving me nothing. And then
you give me L's.
No, not this time. And then I got some San Antonio and then some Memphis stuff there. So yeah, just the whole room is done up, the red, white, and blue. But as you can see, I'm showing love to everybody. My flag here is autographed by a lot of our players from last year. I took it to several of the games and got them to autograph it for me. But yeah, this is where I hang out.
That's pretty dope. I'm over here like, yeah, that shelf.
Hey, but I got one question for you, Rock Rig. What is that special announcement that you have that we were We were
Oh,
talking
he getting way ahead. Hold on. Wait. Okay, what's the announcement?
So I know you all got your little hat thing with San Antonio. So I thought, we always talk about one state, one love here in Texas. So I come up with an idea, actually ran it by a couple of you. And so I made a little thing we're going to do starting this Sunday. So how it's going to work before I show it to you is I'll bring it on Sunday. It's going to come back to Houston anyway. So, that way I can, because, we're going to win the game, but so I'll bring it to Arlington with me.
You can't even keep a straight face, big dog.
I can't.
It's okay, man. Hey, I'll take another trophy from a good friend. I'll take it.
But what we're going to do is I'll bring it with me. Winner of the game, that tailgate gets to keep it. And let's say somehow we wind up winning this one. I bring it back to Houston. Week 5, I go to San Antonio. So when I go to San Antonio, it goes there. If they beat us, then you guys got a chance to get it at the end of the season. It's basically for the bragging rights for Texas. We say one state, one love. This is at the end of the season. Whoever has it has bragging rights to it until next season starts and someone takes it from them.
Got the big cojones.
So what it is I took a helmet. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
So I painted it white. I put the red and blue glitter in it, just representing the state of Texas. Then I got each one of the 3 teams. I got a section with their colors on it and their logo. And then it just says one state, one love on the side of the helmet. And we're going to use that. We're going to call it the one state, one love trophy. And so when I bring it so you guys can see it on Sunday before it comes back to Houston.
When you leave it with us, you mean?
I'll let you. Hey, before you leave, I'll let you hug it.
You let me hug it.
Yeah, you can hold on to it for a little bit.
So I also wanted to show you something else.
Now, I don't believe that.
Just so you know.
Don't believe that because before the games ended, this guy was already grabbing for that hat. So you better ask the Brahmas. He don't play with his.
Well, just so you know, you guys know, Marco knows I do a lot of engraving. I do glass engraving, acrylic engraving, and all that. So I know you hadn't seen this yet, but just so you can see, I am showing love to you guys. Can you see it?
Yeah, that's badass. Raise hell, yeah.
I did that. I do it freehand.
Oh wow!
So I sit in my garage and I do glass engraving on beer mugs and then acrylic. I do engraving on that. So I've got one of the Houston Roughnecks. I'm going to bring this one. We're going to set them up just as a display at the game. Your guys' logo, our logo, and just have them lit up side by side during the tailgate.
Well, I can tell you, we did a watermelon carving. That has nothing on that. Like, that's badass. Like, sure.
I did that this morning. It took me.
This guy's bragging. Look, I can't even write my name on a straight line. Word, I just did that last 5 minutes.
Hey, we can't even carve a watermelon. We got to go get that shit done.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've done one of every team in the league.
Nice.
I've got actually downstairs in my garage right now. I still got the Memphis Showboats and the Michigan Panthers, and then obviously you guys in Houston. But I've done all 8 teams in the league. At one point, I've sat down there and just engraved them out on there and put them in a light stand. Do that, and then my beer mugs, big 34-ounce beer mugs, I engraved the logos on those too. So,
right. Well,
Mike G is tripping, isn't he? He said it's coming to San Antonio and the hat. Oh, Mike is tripping.
Well, yeah, the one state, one love trophy will be going to San Antonio long enough for them to see it too.
No, he was talking about Rick Rocker's coming, not what he's bringing with him. He said they're coming. So listen, on that, y'all definitely sit back and we got to pay some bills. It will be more of the Let's Ride podcast with our guy, Rick Rocker.
Little J's Donuts and more. Located in Harahan at 1301 Hickory Avenue. Come in for donuts, savory breakfast, king cakes, and more. Check us out on Facebook at Little J's Donuts or on our website, littlejsdonuts.org.
Hey, and we back with more of the Let's Ride podcast. This your dude, This is my guy, Bandito, and we got none other than Rick Rocker. I don't know, it's like, that's just a badass name. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to do that shit too. Like, that's really
hey, he's got to rock out.
Right, for real. That's badass. That's badass. So, you've told us about the one state, one love trophy. We know about what's coming up. So now we got to get into some of the history. Some people might not know a little bit about, this has been a very, very long rivalry. Like to me, if y'all catch some of our older shows on our platform, this is the only rivalry I know. The Brahmas was something to me that was just new. But as y'all can see, when we played the Roughnecks back in 2020, is the picture right here. The stands were crazy. And y'all were crazy. Y'all brung some smoke. And I don't know what it was, but, we had this conversation before. Do you think we would ever get back to the stands being like this with the XFL? Rick?
Well, I know, like I said, I didn't start until 2023. I wasn't here in Texas in 2020. But in 2023, we still had a pretty good show out at the games. It wasn't as packed as that, but we still showed out.
They came. Rig, man, if you were here, that game right there, and it was a good game, man, because it was 27-20.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all beat us at the last towards the last quarter.
Yes,
but man, it was a dogfight, man, and it was like, it was. Matter of fact, where you see the guy over here where it says Dallas owes him rent, I was sitting right underneath him, man, and it was that was crazy, man. It was,
yeah.
It was that was a good one too. When they came down and we did a little tailgate, that was a nice little epic tailgate, man.
I'm dreaming of the day that the stands are packed out like that again.
But I think it's starting now with the fans. Like that's where it is. So Mark Bandito, you got some history like that you can tell us, on this series?
Oh man, we played twice in 2023, which in April of 2023, April 23rd of 2023, we were in Houston at TDECU, where we lost 25-9.
That's where you was at, Rig. You know about that one. That's what you see. Y'all weren't backstage. Rig came on here with his salsa because he know that I didn't like it. Yeah. So. And I tried to go back, but I just came with one, really.
But then you got April 29th.
Yeah.
6 days later, in Choctaw Stadium, 26-11.
No, that was in TDECU.
They lost?
We lost.
That's where Rig is. That's where Rig is still mad.
That's where I still got a open wound.
Yeah, that wound. That wound is.
I'm trying to open it up.
You got the places mixed up. We was at Choctaw for the last game against you guys in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Then you turned around, you came to Houston in our house.
There we go.
And knocked us out of the championship.
There we go. That's what we That's what we wanted.
And you know what's funny? And you know what color I wore that day?
Yeah, listen, now we're talking.
Black. And you know what color? You know what color I'm wearing on Sunday?
Black.
And then you'll be black and blue.
Oh, okay. You quick with it. I see you. right. Well, talk about quick with it. You joined our last show, and I think you asked for some mercy. You said you wanted us to take it easy. You was like, we said we had our Ask Coach Stoops segment. For any of our viewers, we always have an Ask Coach Stoops segment. So if y'all want to ask him, just drop it. So you was like, hey, I want to know if Coach Stoops will give us, will take it easy.
Show us a little mercy.
Yeah,
take it easy on us.
But I asked him that question. But then I think I see you in the comments was like, I didn't ask
that. I wanted to hear you ask him word for word.
Hey,
but you didn't ask him the second part of my question.
The Renegades ranked third, and the favorites to win big against the Roughnecks this weekend, which has some of the fans already crying for mercy. Can you tell us what the locker room was like this week, and has the game plan changed going into this game?
No, you didn't ask him the second part of my question.
We don't change and develop a new scheme every week. It's impossible. So just continue to try and be at our best. And that's our mindset. Not to worry about anybody else or what anyone else says. Just, do the work in the week to be at our best come game time Sunday morning.
So here's the reason I was saying, I was joking around, but I know what's going down.
Just tell it.
But here's the whole reason. They announced, Coach CJ announced who the starting quarterback was going to be.
And who is it?
Anthony Brown Jr. All right. So our first game of the season against the Battlehawks, Brown was 5 of 11 for 21 yards, 2 interceptions. His very first pass attempt of the game, he threw an interception.
Yeah.
Well, I would have been like,
Henderson comes in with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, 9:38 to be exact. 7 of 18 for 68 yards. He ran the ball 4 times for 54 yards. He threw for a touchdown. He had just himself. He had a total of 122 yards.
It was too late.
Brown had a total of 41 yards. 41. Kind of put it in perspective on Henderson with the 54 yards rushing. Running back wise, our leading rusher had 8 carries for 16 yards. Tell me who threw the spark in.
9 for 110 yards.
Right. So tell me who threw the spark in to our offense. Yeah, we only scored once, but the person that drove him down there to score was Henderson. Why in the hell is he not starting this week?
That's your coach. That's a question for your coach.
I know. Because they can't game plan around him. The game plan wasn't formed around him. So you seen the question that, I posed. But, Coach Stoops also talked about, like you all strategy quarterback, the ability to run the ball. Like when we did that, that open scrimmage against you all, that guy was able to run the ball. And that's what, we're pretty much game planning around. That's what y'all threat is, the guy that, you're complaining about, you're, saying some of the challenges were. He may have had some issues at that first game, but who's to say that his second game, he might not come up and do well? Because another thing that Coach Stoops said, he was like, with this league, the competition level is pretty much the same. So that we're not taking y'all lightly. But to answer,
I hope he proves me wrong.
Yes, I know. I
really do. I hope he proves me wrong.
It was that, yes, you all, he's a threat running the ball. And that's exactly what Coach Stoops said. He was like, the quarterback is a threat running the ball. And it was, evident during that open practice.
Yeah, I hope
it's easy to be the passenger, to be like, bro, you're driving crazy. You should have put your blinker on. It's easy to be the passenger driver, but that was
right.
it.
But when I'm sitting there watching Brown last Friday, so I like I said, I really do. I hope he comes out and proves me wrong. I hope he has the game of his life Sunday. But from what I seen last Friday, the man could throw it at the ground and still miss.
I've never heard that. That was funny.
hey, but you know what? Hey,
I love my Roughnecks, but I'm just
that's what I like about Rig, man. You don't have a lot of, you know what I mean? You ain't got a lot of fans that will.
I ain't sugarcoating shit.
Yeah, Well, yeah, sugarcoat nothing, you know what I mean, and just tell it how it is, you know what I mean.
Yep.
And if you can bash your team, or what your team can do, you know what I mean. That's just being a real fan, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna sit there and get mad, I mean, yeah, we get mad, yeah, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, because we're still gonna support the team and still love the team for it. You know what I mean? But you got those fans that, oh, they're not winning, so guess what? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna stop watching, or until they decide to come back and win.
Yep, they're fair weather fans.
Oh, it seems like we're talking about you fans out there today. Yeah, we just I'm pulling up on y'all fair weathers.
Hey, fair weather. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, man, because you know what? There's a lot of them. You know what I mean?
No. I love this team, and I'll be there every week. I'm not going to be at 2 games this year, and it's just because financially it's just not possible. I'm going to miss going to Detroit. I'm going to miss going to Birmingham.
Ain't nothing in
outside
Birmingham.
of that. I'm still going
in Detroit. Sorry.
ain't nobody want to.
And I'm a Buckeye man.
Oh, nice.
I'm a Buckeye man. So when we rolled into Detroit last year, I purposely packed Ohio State hoodies, T-shirts, ball cap. I even had the Ohio State tennis shoes.
Oh, they were hating you.
And I was rocking that shit all the way into Detroit.
Nice.
And we drove through Canada to get into Detroit.
Oh, shoot.
Because we had went up the Northeast coast and cut over at Niagara Falls. And it was just going through Canada actually cut off 4 hours of drive time.
Gotcha.
So we drove through Canada and then dropped down in Detroit. But when we rolled into Michigan, I was blasting Ohio State stuff.
No, you would.
Man. So the Predator couple wanted to go see 8 Mile. They wanted to go. I was like, go ahead.
Not in Ohio State.
No, I just don't have no desire to see it. It's just not my thing.
You get a better reaction from going to
you come here. Well, I'll just take you to South Dallas, and that's what it looked like.
So I was going up to the hotel room. They was getting ready to leave, and I said, I'm just going out here. I said, just go out, have a cigarette. I said, I might pop over to this bar over here. This guy on the elevator is like, bruh, go ahead, but I'd advise you change your clothes before you do it. I said, nah, man, I'm staying just like this. I'm staying real to my teams. And he's like, I don't know, man. I was like, hey, it is what it is. But I'm a big Buckeye fan, so when I go into Michigan, it makes it fun.
Nice. So, we feel, we get up out of here. Definitely got to see, want to ask, what was your biggest fan moment? Like, supporting the team. I'm going to tell you mine. One of my biggest fan moments in 2020, seeing the Banditos, and it's crazy years later, we've collabed up and we got a podcast. We're doing a lot of things together. Our brands have, come together. And I think once again, and to me, that's my fan experience from this league. It's like, I seen them and, we built a relationship and we're here now. Like, I didn't even know much about super fans until I came to the UFL. So just trying to see, what was, your fan experience?
Mine, all last season was just amazing. The places I got to see and be in every stadium in the league, that to me was amazing. But it was kind of a two thing. The people I got to meet traveling, the different fans around the league, and to see, and I'm not saying just me, but they see a lot of the super fans on TV or when they're at the games, and then you go to their home and all of a sudden they're dressing up, and to have them come up to you and say, I'm doing this because you guys do this, and you look like you have so much fun doing it.
Wow.
To me, that was a big moment for me. But my biggest moment would have been in 2023. 2023, I had something pretty amazing happen to me. My brother, like I said, my brother was doing it with me, and we always got to the stadium early and walked around, because we'd walk around, the kids wanting to get pictures and stuff. Well, there was this little guy. He had on a Ghost Rider mask, had it painted up red and blue. He just a little fella. And he's looking up at us, I mean, now picture me and my brother's 6'2", 6'3", right around 6'4". So we're walking through there. So we're towering over most people. And this little guy's looking up at me and my brother, and he's got on his mask. And hey, man, I reached out, fist bumped him. I said, what's going on, buddy? And my brother fist bumped him. He just kept looking at us and said, do you want to get a picture? And his dad turned around. He's like, seriously? I'm like, absolutely. So we squatted down. And the rule that we have is if I get a picture with you, I don't care if I have a beer in my hand. But if I'm getting a picture with a kid, the alcohol stays completely out of the picture.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, man.
That's one of the things that is if you take a picture, you know what I mean, you can put that beer down, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So I set the beer down. We stepped away from it so you couldn't see it. Me and my brother squatted down. We get a picture with this little guy. He went on to his seat. Well, then his dad posted the next day giving a shout out to us. He said that he don't normally put his personal business out there, but he wanted to give a shout out to the Rig Rockers. And he said, my son is nonverbal autistic.
Wow.
He said, and we're sitting in our seats and he's looking at this picture. And because he puts in his little mind with his Ghost Rider mask on, he kept calling us Roughneck Riders. And he said, Daddy, look, Roughneck Riders. And so that to me was a big moment. That was that almost aha moment. This is why I do this. And then last year he comes.
He's not lying. You're not lying, Rig, because you know what? I've had, you know what I mean, just like me. Everybody knows that I got my personal bullets on me. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? And last year I gave a set of my bullets away to this little kid, and it was funny because like sometimes you run into some people and sometimes you don't. You know what I mean? Like my biggest experience and all this doing this from 2020, man, is I've got to meet different super fans. You know what I mean? And from different teams. You know what I mean? From all different teams. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, from me doing this from 2020, I've got to see a lot of different fans. You know what I mean? You got some that copy people. You got some that copy. Some people copy one another, which, hey, to me, hey, it's each your own. You mean that if you like the same thing that guy likes, hey, that's all up on you. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you're original. You know what I mean? You're original.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I keep it original. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then just like you said, you mean those the smiles on those kids is pretty cool, man. Because when this kid came up to me, he remembered me from the championship game in San Antonio. Like, hey, Dad, he's here. He is here.
Yeah.
And when that went, man, I said, okay, cool. Pulled off the set of bullets, and I told him, I said, man, you can have them.
Right.
He just lit up, man. Just light up.
Well, and that's what I was going to say about this little guy. His name's Noah. I call him my biggest little rocker, because he just whenever he sees me on TV, his dad messaged me and was like, Noah's seen you on TV and went crazy. Right. And they came to a game last year at Rice Stadium. So last year, I personally bought about 200 extra tickets throughout the season.
Wow.
And gave them out. I just gave them away. I didn't want nothing for them. I wanted people to come out to the games. So I got a hold of him. I'm like, hey, man, I got 3 tickets for you, Noah, and your wife if you want to come and come out to our tailgate. He's like, sure, Rig, I'll be there. So they show up. Now, mind you, like I said, his son's nonverbal autistic. His son's seen me and come running to me and hug me. He looks at me and he goes, Rig, he don't even hug me and his mom.
Wow.
I'm like, man. And he gave me this wristband here. It's fading out. I haven't taken this off since he gave it to me that day. And it's autism awareness. I haven't taken it off since. I mean, the paint's fading off. You can barely read what it says. But that's my dude.
I salute you for that. I had taught.
Hey, I mean, that's what it's about, bro. That's what it's about. When these kids come up,
is.
Man, it's like,
and that's what
that's
fans need to know why y'all do it. Because it's not just about the picture or try to get in with the team. And that's where it get misconstrued. And just want to circle back to you, Rick. Like I taught some autistic kids when I was teaching, and so I understand that that love. So just let like, hey man, double salute for you, and you can't do nothing wrong. You that kid's superhero, so you always know they're watching you. So double salute to you on that, and we already know. I'm watching you, Bandito. So, but now talking about who's watching, it was crazy because I had talked to Luis Perez. And I had told him San Antonio Brahmas coach Wade Phillips put the league on notice about how he got all the receivers back. So, question to you, Rick: do y'all have the defense to even stop our guys?
Do you want the Red Rocker answer?
Tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah. I want the Rocker answer.
We do. So the thing is, we do have it, but they've got to clean up that bullshit, arm tackling, reaching for tackles. They need to square up, and they need to quit. What they're trying to do last week, they were trying to get that big pop. Mm-hmm. If they wasn't arm tackling or they wasn't reaching for a tackle, they were trying to get that big pop. Instead of hitting and wrapping, go back to fundamentals. Quit trying to be the superstar. Go back to the fundamentals. When I played, you hit and you wrapped up.
That is true. And now, if y'all come in with that, y'all gonna get all slipped on this sauce that's dripping in Choctaw State.
And the emergence of the Thunder and Lightning, the strong running game.
Let me hit it back too.
Hey, Louise, this is I with STWF Media. So, got to talk to you about now that the Brahmas head coach, Coach Phillips, then put the league on notice about you having most of your receivers returning. And he's also hinted at you having a possibility of another big season because of this. What is your confidence level going into this week's game, knowing what Coach Phillips has said about your offense and the emergence of the Thunder and Lightning, the strong running game?
Mike, great question. So I would say this, one thing is somebody taking notice, but one thing is people have to stop it too, right? And again, when you're two-dimensional and you have Thunder and Lightning back there, you have all the skill position. We have a great offensive line. I'm back. I'm comfortable with all the receivers. It's, I just feel like it's going to be hard to stop. It's going to be hard to stop if we're all clicking and doing our 111. And a big thing for us is like, hey, focus on ourselves. Do your 111, nothing more, nothing less, and everything's going to play out. We have all the pieces in place, the coaching, everything's there. We just got to execute.
There you go. So this is for Mike, who's asking for the onions, right? This to tie that up. You got your wine.
Hey, Rick, make sure you get you one of those blue rags when you go in, because you can wipe them tears, baby.
I'll wipe something else. No, I do want to get one because I want to add it to my collection back here.
I think it's going to be a good game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only thing
I just hope your defense comes in, man, because I feel that we're going to have a good receiving game this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I called last week's game that we were going to sit there and just pound it on them. So this week I'm going with my receivers, man.
Yeah.
I'm giving each of them. I'm giving number 11, Winningham. I'm giving him 2.
Oh.
Then I'm giving my little friend number 8, TV, 2. Then I'm gonna go ahead and give my other homeboy number 3, 1.
Okay. You see, listen, he talking about who cut onions. We've been sniffing the chimney.
Sniffing the crazy glue.
Right, exactly. That's what he's saying. Shout out to Mike, man. So what do you think the score is? So I'm gonna ask you, what do you think the score might be, Ray? What do you predict?
40
my heart says we can win this one. The smart side of me says probably 40-6.
Yeah. The hard side of you is sniffing the glue. That ain't reality.
I got. It's like these boys. They got to go out there and play with heart. I got to cheer with heart. So, I'll scream and holler the entire game. I did at our game here, and I know they heard me because they was out of place. The defense was out of place all the time. They were pointing. I don't know if you watched the game or not, but they were pointing and nobody. And at one point, a couple of the Battlehawks receivers, when they lined up, didn't even have a defender on them. Yeah. I mean, the guys were confused, and it's like if they worked on all that this week, I think our defense can keep us in the game.
I believe so too.
It's our offense that'll keep us out of the game.
Yeah, because y'all made the Battlehawks look good. To me, and that's why some of the power rankings that the Battlehawks is ranked higher than the Renegade, because it wasn't a showcase of their great dominance. It was just y'all were just having missed calls, and I think y'all, like you said, y'all clean that up. Y'all at least be able to go home saying y'all pinched us, because it's still getting knocked out. So, you know what I'm saying? We still getting the 40 burger. And I still say y'all going 0. You see that?
Nah.
Hey, Mike,
come on, man.
XFL Mike G says 31 Arlington, Houston 9.
Uh-oh. Hey, so once again, our shows now, we all do, whoever picked the right or the closest score, we're going to get you a ticket to the next game. If you're out of the Arlington area, of course, you'll be here with us, but we'll definitely send y'all a ticket, man. So we see you, Mike, 31-9.
If I got it right, I'll come as Rig Rocker and cheer on Renegades to a game.
Okay. Hey, you come as Rig Rocker, we will buy you a ticket to come down here and have this exclusive interview.
Hey, you can sit right next to us.
Right, exactly. We had Billy the Bandit out there with us, then that's the
I do need to get a picture with him this Sunday.
Yeah,
he looks a little.
That's one of my things. Yeah. As long as they got a mascot, I try to get my picture taken with their mascots. It's fun, and then I can hang it up here, on the wall and have it as a memory. So I definitely want to get my picture taken with him. So
I'm going. You know what I mean? I'm going. We're pointing a 40 piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, still happening. So before we get up out of here, any shout out? What you got? Any last minute parting words, Mr. Bandito? What you got?
Oh, you know what? I want to wish my little nephew Aaron,
nephew,
Big Country, a happy birthday, man. We'll see you guys. We'll see you out there on Sunday, Niff.
Yeah. Back in Ryan, happy birthday. Like God, dog. But shout out to you, Nev. Happy birthday.
What was that, like Chi-Chi's restaurant? Yeah, I just showed my age bad. Hey, I don't do too bad for a 52-year-old man.
That's true. Like I said, we're going to card you anymore.
Hey, not at all.
I love it when I get carded.
See, that's when you're old, because that's a pickup line. They'll be like, oh, I know. You're like, yeah, baby, I ain't there though.
When I go into gas stations to get cigarettes or go in to buy beer, and they're like, I'm sorry, can I see your ID? I'm like, why are you apologizing? Thank you. You are now my new best friend.
I'm like, well, look, you give me $5. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, bro, look at all that gray.
Nice. Man, but it's been a hoot, man. And to everyone that's tapped in, we appreciate y'all tapping in, man. It's been greatness. If y'all want to, join the show, it's always, just let us know. But Rick, we gotta let you know. Got any shout outs in the last minute part? Losing words? Sorry.
Oh,
got my
losing words.
Howling. This is terrible.
I'm just gonna say, my Tundra, the front seat is gonna look so pretty when this rides back with me.
Oh, don't worry. This tire gonna look really good covered over the H part and that yellow part.
Like I said, I'll be bringing this with me too. That way we can show the love, show the support.
Nice.
And also whoever's coming down 45 north, that comes to the game. Y'all be careful. There's a lot of crazy guys out there on the road. You guys be careful when you guys coming down to Arlington. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's supposed to be some pretty bad weather. I'll be running into that. I'm leaving my house tomorrow morning at around 10.
You be careful, brother.
Yeah, and then I'm going over meeting the Predators couple. They live about 30 minutes from me. So I'm going to shoot over there, and we're going to caravan up.
Okay.
So we'll probably get in town probably 4 or 5 o'clock.
Hey, before we get out here, definitely gotta give a shout out to everyone that's tapping into the tailgate. If you all want to know anything about the need to know before you go to the game, check out our Facebook page. Everything you need to know, and you can buy that family 4-pack directly from our website. But not a part of the Arlington Renegades. We got a tailgate. Tell them about the tailgate, Bandito.
We'll be out there. We're gonna get there about like 7:15 to set up and start cooking. They open up They open up about 3 hours prior to game time. You know what I mean? We got Daniel Mutu on the grill doing his breakfast tacos, breakfast sandwiches, pancakes, biscuit and gravy. Also, Big Val will have tacos as well, breakfast tacos as well. But he will also have fajita tacos and chicken fajita tacos out there. We'll be serving orange juice out there. I think one of the guys is we'll have some mimosas out there for breakfast. But I mean, we're gonna be out there, you know what I mean? And we're all gonna, and just to let everybody know, you know what I mean, we're actually gonna go in a little bit early because we got the on the field passes to go on the field. So man, if you guys want to show up early, you guys are more than welcome. They let us line up out there. We'll be out there cooking, having a little drinks before we go in, and then go in and watch this game.
Yes, and that's going to be in Lot E. And for those that's driving in, remember, Choctaw Stadium is cashless, and visitor parking is in Lot D, where you can come right over to Lot E.
And the One State, One Love trophy will be there for all you Renegades fans that want to come check it out, since you won't get to see it after the game, unless you come to Houston. So it'll be there for you all to come check out.
Man, go ahead, bro, because last week we had a big mouth. We had a big mouth last week. You know what I mean?
And they couldn't hear a rat piss on cotton in the stadium. We were like, hey!
Nothing. You know what I mean? And they came 40 plus deep.
That part. And you know what? It was so bad. Listen, they got their eyes punched out. They had to go back to San Antonio and rewatch the game. Tay was just so in disbelief.
Well,
that was my fault because every time we scored, I was interrupting. We were watching.
I do watch our games every week.
What are y'all watching? Y'all getting whooped.
I do watch our games. I record them and then come home and watch them. Just that way, if there's anything I missed during the game, I always check them out. I come home and watch them. Last week's game, I waited until Monday to watch it because I needed a couple days to lick my wounds.
I ain't watching.
Oh, don't worry about it. We do recaps, previews. So if you want to know about it, we're gonna be talking about it. Just know that. So what we gonna, with our show, we let all our guests, end our show. So it's your time. Whatever you can say, pop your stuff. We about to be gone because guess what? It's drink time for both of us. So you in the show
So anybody at the game that wants to come by and just say hi, I'm a nice guy, man. I promise. I know the mask kind of looks, as some people say, kind of creepy, but no, I really am a nice guy. Come by, say hi. If you want to look me up on Facebook, look up Rig Rockers. All my other social medias are right there on linked into it, so you can follow me on any of my socials, X and Instagram. Looking forward to seeing everybody on Sunday. Anybody, once we get in town, anybody wants to get together Saturday evening, if the weather's not bad, just hit me up. We'll get together, hang out. Looking forward to seeing everybody. And as always, H is up.
Find this podcast and others on STWF-TV, the Podcasting Network, wherever you get podcasts.